You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. The Pioneer softball team is in the middle of batting their way through the 2019 season. And here to break it all down, we have Justin, Joe, and Steven. Now, guys, Pioneers coming off 2 tough losses in doubleheader row. And Justin, what did you see from these tough matchups?
So if we take a look at the stats from the first game, they lost 3-2, like you said. Now, obviously, they only put up 3 hits opposed to Rowan's 6. They had no errors opposed to Rowan's 1. But at the same time, they struck out 8 times opposed to 7 times. Now, this is one of the few times we've actually seen the Pioneer offense really get put out and really not do anything. Because we've seen them win games 10 runs, 12 runs. They usually can get off to a hot start and manufacture runs, and that just wasn't the case for this game.
Yeah, I kind of want to highlight the second game specifically as we take a look at the stats for that one. It was just another rough game for the Pioneers, getting mercy ruled 9-1, only 4 hits. They let up 13, 4 errors, 3 strikeouts. And they moved down to 14-6 on the year. It was just not the game for the Pioneers. You thought the first game was bad. This one got worse. They got out-hit horribly again. It was really a time that we did not expect to happen. I mean, Alex Grubiak started this game. She got kind of shelled. Very surprisingly, she's been a solid bullpen arm for them. It happens. Everyone's going to face hard teams. Rowan, no fluff team. They need to settle down, relook at their lineup, try and change some things around, and then move ahead.
Joe?
Yeah, I saw in the first game, they left 7 runners on base. They struck out 8 times. It was just, the offense just looked feeble and weak. The other team only put up, 3 runs. Rowan, they're no slouch on the offensive side of the ball, but they're a beatable team. And in the second game, the 4 errors leading to 9 runs, that has to change. You have to play clean baseball, and you can't be leaving people on base.
That's obviously time for the Pioneers to step up their game, get these losses behind them. Justin, what player is key for the Pioneers' success going forward?
For me, it has to be Vanessa Archibald, and she's been the perfect leadoff hitter for the Pioneer softball team. As you can see, she's batting in the 400s, the only Pioneer over 400 at that point. She's produced 19 runs, 25 hits, walked a few times, and she has an on-base percentage of 500. That's perfect. Not to mention, she swiped 12 out of 13 bags trying to steal bases. So she gets on base, even though she doesn't have the power numbers of a few doubles, she can turn a single into a triple in a matter of seconds. We've seen it, Steve, when we broadcast the game last week. She has blazing speed down the line, and she can't get enough credit to how much important she is to sparking this Pioneer offense.
I thought it was the Flash, actually, out there on the diamond.
Joe?
I got to look at Alex Grubiak in the rotation there, because she's shown flashes of good starts there, 6-3. See the ERA in the 2s. But as Steven said, she had a rough outing this week against Rowan. So in order for the Pioneers to go far, they can't just have one pitcher. They can't have Mazzaro, pretty much being their sole threat on the pitching staff. So she has to really come out and solidify herself as a starter.
Speaking of Caitlin Massaro, that's my pick. She can do it with her arm and her bat. You look at her stats, she's averaging 355, 3rd highest on the team. 23 RBIs, incredible. Win-loss, 6-3, 4 complete games, and a sub-2 ERA. There's not enough you can say about her this season. She's really been the staple of the pitching staff. This is her first year pitching since her junior year in high school, which we found out earlier in the week. She got called on to pitch, and she's easily the ace of the team immediately.
Pioneers looking to regroup, host the Ramapo Roadrunners this weekend, big doubleheader. Joe, what can we expect from these games?
Well, as we take a look at the stat comparison there between William Patterson and Ramapo, we're going to see that the William Patterson Pioneers, they're a much better offensive team than the Roadrunners. They have the better average, they have better bats, and they have a 3.02 average. The ERAs, kind of even. The Pioneers score a lot more runs a game. The Pioneers are 12-2 in games where they scored first. They haven't lost a game where they scored 5 or more runs. They have to score if they want to win these 2 games. These are big matchups in the NJAC.
Justin?
Well, for me, you look at the ERAs, they're almost identical. So this is going to be a pitching matchup. Why it's even more important for the Pioneers offense led by Vanessa Archibald to get out to a quick start and get that lead, because they need it, because it's going to be tight. And if the Pioneers don't have, we've seen them where they don't have a few run lead, it's a close game and usually doesn't go the way of the Pioneers.
Yeah, I think Pioneers really need to focus on defense and offense here, obviously. When you give a comfortable lead to a pitcher, it boosts up their confidence. It lets them try and experiment different things that may work and may not. So getting out to an early lead is huge, and making no errors on the defense. We've seen the defense be a struggle for the Pioneers sometimes early in this year, so consistency is key for them.
Now looking forward to the NJAC tournament, the Pioneers currently sit on the outside looking in. Justin, with a few weeks left in the season, what do they have to do in order to get back in playoff
Well,
picture?
Steve alluded to it. It's overall consistency across the board, fielding, defense, but mainly in the NJAC also. They're 1-3 right now. They've really avoided long losing streaks. Right now they're on a 2-game losing streak. So really they need to break that, win the doubleheader, and just get more consistent hitting-wise and just getting on base at the same time.
I have to go with the defense. As I alluded to before, they lost a game where they made 4 errors. They have the 4th most errors in the NJAC. They have the 3rd worst fielding percentage. Defense wins championships in the NJAC. The TCNJ team, they have the highest fielding percentage, they have the least amount of errors, and they lead the NJAC right now. Errors are the key to losing games, in my opinion.
Steve?
Yeah, I want them to improve their offense and make it more consistent, like you said, Justin. There's times during the year where they score only 1 to 2 runs, maybe even 5. And then there's times where they score 11 or 12. So they kind of want to even that out and maybe average about 7 to 8 runs a game. And then you have that explosive offense where you score 13 or 14. You really don't want to drop down to the low 3s.
And again, the Pioneers' big doubleheader tomorrow against Ramapo at 1 o'clock here on the campus of William Patterson. Well, good luck to all our Pioneers over the coming week. We keep it on the mound with the MLB right after this. Keep it locked.